Hi, I'm Bidrose from the council. This is Mjadra at Addis, and I first had this dish. I hadn't been in Dunedin long and was invited for dinner by a member of the local Lebanese community, and this was one of about 10 dishes that he had on the table. Very generous eaters and very hospitable, the Lebanese people. And this was became a firm favourite in my family. I make it regularly when I have to go out for potluck dinners, and it's always popular. Alright, so start the dish with 1.5 cups of brown lentils washed and drained. You need to cook them for quite a long time, instructions on the packet. So today we've prepared them earlier so that you don't have to watch me cooking lentils for 2.5 hours. 150 ml of olive oil. Long grain rice washed and drained, which I'll start off by putting the rice on to cook. I think the key point for this dish is it's an onions and lentil and rice in a dish together. Effectively that's the meal with a really lovely garlicky yogurt topping. But the key, Richard, when he taught me how to make this dish, his key point was you've got to really cook the onions. So you cook the onions, and when you think the onions are cooked, you cook them for a bit longer, and when you think they're starting to be overcooked, you cook them just a little bit longer. They just shouldn't go black and crispy, but they should be really dark. That's the key to having a really success for this particular dish. So I'll just prepare the onions and the rice. Alright, so 1 cup of rice, just give it a wash. You can see it's sort of cloudy out the bottom. 2 cups of cold water. A wee bit of salt will get to it as well. And then you can just watch these cook and have a nice glass of wine. So that was your 1.5 cups of brown lentils. They take a while to cook, so we've cooked those. That's your 1.5 cups of brown lentils, 1.5 cups. That's your cup of rice, and this is your onions cooking, and they are the entire ingredients for Mjadra. Yeah. And actually, yes, this is starting to catch now. So as you can see now, it's just starting to catch a little bit on the bottom. So actually, this is just, and you've got just enough black pieces through to give a good flavour. There's nothing left that's just white. So I think this is just cooked enough now. Pour this into the cold pan so that it does stop cooking. Actually, if you leave it in the hot pan, it's quite easy. From this point, it's easy to burn it. So, just cooking approximately 15 minutes. So here's the lentils, 1.5 cups of lentils. Put them in the pot. Fill up the water till it's an 1.5 to 2 inches above the top of the lentils. Cook it until all the water's evaporated away, a bit like the rice. So that takes about 1/4 hour. So we cooked those earlier. So here is the lentils. I'll just drain those, and I'll but they do swell up quite a lot, so you do end up with quite a lot more than your 1.5 cups full. With 3 good size onions, these weren't large onions, with 3 good size onions and 1.5 cups of lentils, cup of rice, it ends up being a pretty good mix. Stirring them through carefully. You don't want to turn your rice into mush or your lentils. So that's your dish. And the best thing is if you make this the day before, really boil overnight. So that's your dish. Now we'll make the yogurt that goes with it. So about a cup of yogurt. Unsweetened yogurt's really important. Yeah. So nice easy way to skin the garlic too is to squash it like that, and then the skin just nicely comes off. So as long as you scrape up all the pieces. I quite like it garlicky, so and the juice of lemon. A couple of tablespoons roughly. And just stir them together and pop them in the fridge until they're ready. And there we have it, the Mjadra addis and sauce. Great, ready to go.